Hey, good morning. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, but walking to a convenience store, which is a gas station, because here gas stations, they must have a convenience store alongside with them. They don't make a lot of money off the gas. I applied there. It's a chain location, but it's franchise. I know the owner. I know him because I used to go there when I used to work full time with direct store delivery. But I applied there because it's walking distance. It is 2 1/10 of a kilometer one way, so 4.2 kilometers round trip. For my American viewers, it's 1 3/10 of a mile one way, so 2 6/10 miles round trip. I'm prepared. I'm bringing this so I can fill it up when I'm there and not have to pay. This is La Familia. Princess is right there. No, wait, that's not Princess. Princess is older than Sophia. I guess Princess is not there. Okay, alright. But my nieces and nephews. Okay. That's mommy, right? Yeah, I think that's mommy. And bringing my state issued ID. I'm gonna put it, this is my wallet. And I'm bringing, just in case he decides to hire me, my social. As much as the people in this country are against socialism, Social Security is right in their faces. Sorry, Apple. I prefer Google. They do save your data, which doesn't respects no privacy, but it does make the map experience a little bit better. But I will open maps when I'm on the phone. So let's fold this up and place on wallet. Because I have to walk and bike is the reason why I use a plastic bag for a wallet, because when you sweat, all of your stuff in the wallet gets wet. Some caffeine. Sorry, people. At this very moment, it felt like something got stuck in the back of my throat. That little thing that hangs. If you go to smartnonsense.com, I'm sure they answer what that is. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Nasty. I should drink some water before I leave, but I'm not. I had coffee, which is a diuretic. I'm sure all of my audience above 10 knows what a diuretic is. I'm gonna take the mug in the bag so I don't have to carry it. And also, it's a 28-minute walk according to Google Maps. So I may not record it all. There are 2 routes. They both say the same distance. So I'm gonna take the route that's on the main road, but it's really a service road. Real quick glance. I moved Semilla over here at the very end, so 20 seconds over here now. And earlier today, I trimmed Semilla, so now the trunk has no leaves. For some reason, Mama Vilma trimmed just about all of them, but she left 2. I didn't like how it looked aesthetically, so I trimmed both of them. And then this is 7-Eleven. I named it 7-Eleven because it was the biggest one, and 7-Eleven is one of my favorite vendor or gas station convenience stores I enjoy. Mama Vilma trimmed one of the trunks, the little trunk, and then today I trimmed some of the lower leaves. And I know for a fact now that they turn brown like that because it's from the sun's radiation. This one has most of it because this one was put out in front of the garage And those two, they were put right here where my foot is, and right here. So essentially there wasn't as much heat because they're behind there. The ground can absorb the heat better. Well, it's cooler than concrete. And 7-Eleven over there, I have put right smack here in the middle of the car park or the garage, right here. And all the cement around it, and that, you know, I'm sure that gives off radiation. And the vehicle, well, the vehicle, I don't know, but there's no vegetation around, so the temperature, I'm sure it dehydrated the tree faster. And then due to its location, I'm sure it got a good amount of sunlight. Over there we have Survivor. If you can see it, it's still alive. And believe it or not, I'll show you guys at another video, the little branch, the thing with Survivor, these trees, and also the trees that are coconut trees, they give shade. So Survivor's in a good spot. It's not gonna get sunburned, and it's also in the middle of all the grass. But this tree, this humongo tree, look, it's blocking the moon just about. All these trees, since we live in the north of the equator, even though the earth is tilted, I think 23 degrees, 23 something degrees, the sun will still be from the south, which is that way where my hand is pointing, for most of the year. And at the most, if I'm not mistaken, there are 2 lines that run parallel, one north of the equator, one south of the equator. Those are the tropics. Google, the result says the Tropic of Cancer is the most northern latitude on the earth where the sun can appear directly overhead. Right above. The Tropic of Capricorn is the most southern latitude on earth where the sun can appear directly overhead. Those are the 2 lines that run parallel, and the sun will not appear overhead, above, or below those lines. Michael Stevens mentions this, so I'll put a link in the description to Vsauce. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. When the sun falls directly over Hawaii, it's called a Lahaina noon. Yes, I would like it to become eventually passive income. Who would not want it to be? But I also would like to have a live chat with you guys. I think I need 1,000 subscribers for that. The other day I joined the chat. It was with Gabby Bell, and she is just an awesome, beautiful person. You gotta check her channel out. I'll link in the description so you guys can join it as well. And she's got some good videos that also talk about how to make money online, and she's honest about it. But I don't like social media. I never did. The only reason my account says I joined YouTube in 2010, because that was around the time that Google had already purchased YouTube, and then Google wanted to start their Google Plus to compete with Facebook. And they made it so that if you wanted to leave a comment on YouTube, you had to join Google Plus. That's the only reason it shows I joined in 2010. I'm sure there's a lot of other people like that, because if you wanted to make a playlist or leave a comment, you had, or watch an age-restricted video, you had to become a Google Plus member. But that was short-lived. Anyways, I see work trucks. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, because to try to make this video just walking, round trip walk of 4.2 kilometers. This is what it would take if I did get this particular job. Not the one that I really would like, which is at the supermarket, but this one I may have a better chance, because the supermarket, they usually like young faces and people that just came out of school, or people that have a degree, because that's a $1 billion, that corporation is worth billions, and it's rated one of the best places to work at, and it's a top 500 company, maybe like top 100, I think. And it's not there are the only shareholders, if you want to call them that, it's owned by the employees. So it's an actual company that I could work for 20 years until I'm like 82, and then I can leave something to my offspring. So that's freedom to dream. All right, enjoy. We are on the service road of North Hiatus Road. It's hard to see because it's 0600 hours, maybe like 10 after. Yeah, 10 after, because I started recording probably exactly at 0600. We have all the lights that you can see. That is essentially light pollution. It is a deterrent, allegedly, for people who commit crimes, but let's be honest. So that's a street light that's maintained by the city. Thieves, they usually strike during the day. I would say maybe a good majority of them, while people are away at work. They wait for people to be at work and for kids to be at school, and that's when that's a street light in the middle of the actual road, not the service road. That's maintained by the city. And yes, where I live, it is incorporated. It's not an unincorporated territory. We do have our own police department, but I think now all police stations in this county use the same emergency call center. I don't know why they did it like that. It used to be Broward Sheriff's Office, which would police smaller cities or areas that are unincorporated, and they would have their own channel. And then like Hollywood, Miramar, Hollandale, all of them would have their own channels. But now I think every city in the county of Broward, all emergency calls go to the same good morning, go to the same station. There's another street light. There was a gentleman getting ready to go to work. That's whom I said good morning to. I do not want to put the camera on anyone unless I have permission, because also before I left, I did a search. I haven't done it in a while, to make sure that I do not have any warrants out for my arrest, which means that the law enforcement thinks that they have that I've committed a crime. There is, which I have not, or if they're doing an investigation on something else and they think I may know something about it, which I do not as well, because I don't really associate with anyone. I'm pretty much a home loner. I stay home all the time. You know, sometimes I do have some buddies that pass by to check up on me. If I work for the guy with the roof, but I haven't been working for him that much because he doesn't, if I do, it's only on the ground. I can't go up on roofs anymore because of an accident. But I am okay. You guys know that my psychiatrist writes buprenorphine, which is analgesic. If I'm saying that correctly. Just put it this way: if you have to take like 10 Tylenol a day, or more than like 3,000 milligrams of Tylenol a day, go see a pain doctor and get this written for you. It is it's a synthetic opioid, but it's a partial agonist. So it's not gonna make you be all like, you know, like when you're like buzzed. So look, that's a lot of light pollution. That one's bright as can be. Look at that, it almost looks like the sun. The sun should be rising. I don't know what time. And that's lighting up. That's the back. That's the kitchen entrance to the princess's school. The only reason I know is because when I used to work the DSD job, one of the gentlemen I worked for, he actually did deliver to over here. So I've walked through those doors, which are, you have to ring the bell. The cafeteria staff is possibly the first people that get here in the mornings. They have to start preparing breakfast. So they probably get here probably before even the principal. They have their own keys. It's just like the supermarket I want to work at, which is right over there. It's in the opposite corner from the elementary school. The one that I mentioned to you guys that is one of the best places to work at. I remember when I used to deliver there, the bakery manager, her name is Donna, but they moved her to another location. She would be the one to open up, because the manager obviously picks their schedule. The store manager, he works whatever hours him or she would like to work. And then it's a hierarchy, but it's all just, even though it's a great place to work, it's still ran by human beings. So your best bet is just do your job, help your fellow team members, and you know, treat the customers, make the shopping experience a memorable one. If you don't have any personality, that's okay, because as long as you're well informed with like the layout, with the products, that's all you really need to know. And you have to force yourself to smile, but which is not easy for everybody. But even if you don't smile, you could at least say to the customer, is this the one you were looking for, sir, ma'am? Okay, I'm glad you found it. Is there anything else you would like need assistance with, or you're looking for? And if they say no, that's it. And then you say, all right, well, thank you so much for shopping with us today. If you need any further help, my name is, and then walk away and continue your job. You don't even have to smile, but it's ideal to make eye contact, and when you're being kind like that, you know, it's just when you smile at somebody, I don't know if they done you know, people who research neurology, I believe they've done tests where they've seen that someone who smiles at someone else, their brain actually gets stimulated, endorphin gets released, not at the person they're smiling at, but the person that actually provides the smile, which is equivalent to how they say giving is better than receiving. So when you give to somebody, you're actually the one that's getting more out of it. But the thing is, human pride, because we're human beings, we want sometimes some of us, or at times maybe some of us, want to receive some kind of recognition or just acknowledgement. But that's why it's important to, you know, at the very least, your blood family, you know, which is something that it's been hard for me to do. I've explained to my sisters, but I don't know if they understand fully. I should just forget about, you know, don't put my treasure at anything mom and dad have acquired through the years. But mom has in the past said, oh, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. So, and they did work hard for everything they have. And they came from third world poverty, not first world poverty like me. Third world poverty, you really don't have any clothes, any toys, And when I mean toys, that can include cars, TVs, computers, gadgets, books, because back then, you know, TVs were fairly new. Or and then if they had cable, they didn't have cable, or even electricity and air conditioners. They didn't have any of that. They had to work, you know, because child labor laws, I'm sure they're there, but you know, police officers don't get paid that much, so they're not going to enforce them. When I was in, I'm not going to say where, but when I was abroad, I was visiting some family, and I was advised, because, you know, I rented a car. That's when, you know, when you're young, you want to drive and you enjoy it. And I still do enjoy it, but it just depends the kind of car. And it depends what I'm allowed to do. If I'm allowed to drive like a police officer, yes, I'll enjoy it. And depending on the car. But if it's like an older, nice car, like, I don't know, like the car I had a 1988 Chevrolet Caprice Brougham. And when I got it, it only had 4,000 miles. The leather was brand new. The plastic, here I'm crossing, I think this is like Zimmerman. This is north of Taft Street. I don't know if you can read the name. Taft is also a previous president, I believe, of the United States. The city designated this street to Zimmerman, Howard Zimmerman. I know Zimmermans that live near me, they live, I believe, on 21st Street, Northwest 21st Street. So 114th Avenue is Howard Zimmerman. Now, how it works here in the county of Broward is the following. If I remember correctly, Andrews Avenue, which is approximately, let's say, 5 or 10 kilometers from the coast, is what separates east and west. And then in Broward County, you have 2 or 3 main streets that separate north and south. In South Broward, it's Hollywood Boulevard, which east of like around 67th Avenue or the Turnpike, it turns into Pines Boulevard. In Fort Lauderdale, which is a popular city, or used to be popular before Cancun was built, because Cancun is not a natural city. It was actually built, from what I understand, with the purpose to attract tourism and business, you know, to boost the Mexican economy. Before Cancun was a thing, Fort Lauderdale is where it was at. And the Fort Lauderdale area of Broward, which splits north and south, is Broward Boulevard. Now, in Miami-Dade County, it's a little different. There's only one street that divides north and south, and that was one of Henry Rockefeller's good friend, Flagler. I forget his first name. I don't know if it's Henry Flagler, but he was a financier. He retired in New York. You know, he was wealthy, very wealthy. And this was in the 19th century. So this was when railroads were being built to connect the states. And railroads are obviously essential for commerce. So like if here in Florida, we grow strawberries or oranges, or we have any livestock, or we produce anything in mass quantities, we would ship it through railroads across the country. I don't know if there's any oil. I know there's oil fields in the Gulf of Mexico, and there was a really bad spill. I think either British Petroleum or Shell. It was just disgusting. Yeah, we've been. It's funny because propaganda makes the public, from what I understand, makes the public believe like they knew what they were doing. It's just causing more waste, which essentially would just go to a landfill. Fill up the landfill, and then once it's done being filled, you cover it up, you make a park or whatever, and landfills are usually covered with like another type of plastic so that it the sewage, if it turns into any kind of liquid, it doesn't go into the ground and go into aquifers or underground water. But back in the days, you know, drinks and everything used to be in glass bottles. Still is like that in Latin America. And when you buy like a 2-liter soft drink, you have to pay like an extra, let's say 50 cents US for the bottle. But then when you bring it back, you get your monies back. I mean, you only have to pay for the drink, and then you give them the bottle, and then they give you another drink in a clean glass bottle. Those bottles go back to the warehouse where the recipe for Coca-Cola is only made in the state of Georgia, which is it actually borders Florida. That's the only state besides Florida that I have been to. It's Georgia. All right, I just passed 118th Avenue. That's another. And Google Maps, my destination, if I remember correctly, is 12351 Taft Street. So to give you a frame of reference, the very first building that has any use is the school, and that is 11201 Taft Street. So I'm heading to 12351. So from Main Street to Main Street is approximately a mile, like going from east to west. That's why where I live, which is just one street below Old Sheridan Street, which got replaced by Sheridan Street. Before it was Old Sheridan Street, it was just Sheridan Street, but it was just a two-way road, one going east, one going west. But as the city grew and expanded, they turned it into a 4-lane kind of, you know, it's almost like a highway, because between the stretch where I live, which is between 112th Avenue and 124th Avenue, there is no stoplights on either Sheridan Street or this street that I'm walking on, Taft Street. But this street has curbs. Curbs will essentially raise a driver's awareness, so pedestrians are a wee bit safer. And also the speed limit here posted is 10 miles less than Sheridan Street. For the world, 10 miles is 16 kilometers. So here you can go, let me see if I can get my math right. And this road, the limit is approximately 55 kilometers per hour. This is Taft Street. But on the other road, the speed limit is approximately 95 kilometers per hour. So that goes to show you the difference. Let me make sure I got that right. Wait, the other one is, oh wait, the other one's 45. I made a boo-boo. It's 72 kilometers per hour, not 95. So this one's approximately 55 kilometers per hour. The one that's the street above where I live, really 2, because Old Sheridan Street is cut off from the actual Sheridan Street, which is the 4-lane highway. Over there, it's approximately 70 or 75 kilometers per hour. Here's 35 and there's 45. I'm just trying to multiply because I know 1 mile is 1 6/10 kilometers, if I remember correctly, or 1,600 meters. So I've already passed the time that maps.google.com said it would take me. But remember, in the beginning of the video, I started it off with an intro showing off my thermos, which I'm carrying in a bag, showing off the contents in my wallet, which was a valid identification of the state of Florida. Even though everybody in this country is anti-socialism, we have Social Security, which is a socialist service provided by this government. Social Security is meant to be so that when you reach retirement age, based on the amount of hours you worked, you get a certain a check. But what they don't count is the hours that you worked when you were underage. Because I remember I started working when I was like 15 years old, and I was working full time, so even the job I had as a receptionist, I started at underage. I started when I was I had turned 17, like 5 months before at the most, 4 to 5 months beforehand. All right, so we passed all residential. Here's the first sign of commercial. This is the Char Hut Plaza. So in this particular plaza, Char Hut, which is at the corner over there, it's not lit up, that's the anchor location. So in other words, most traffic will flow in here to go there. But we also have private practices. We have a DDS, I imagine an MD, or if not, a nurse practitioner. We have Italian cuisine. We have a relaxation and also for I imagine the health, cardiovascular health or vascular health. We have rheumatologist. Is that a foot doctor? Oh. We have physical therapy. That's one of the things I wanted to do. But to get an MD for that, man, like I said, the schooling system here is not like Cuba. You gotta pay, you'll be hundreds of thousands in debt. But the cool part is the physical therapist assistant is the one who does the actual labor, and you just assess the conditions and just put your signature, and that's it. But if it's a small business like that, you gotta take care of payroll, rent. You gotta be compliant with local, state, federal laws. You have to learn about all that. You have to incorporate your business. That way, in case there's a lawsuit placed against you, you don't lose your home or homestead, your house. You have to, also you have to, there's certain rules that you have to abide by in this country regarding privacy. There's a lot of them choose not to get malpractice insurance because it's too expensive, so they just have the patient sign a waiver. In the state of Florida, malpractice insurance is through the roof. And speaking of insurance, in case of shit, right there, that's a branch that sells that particular brand. And I imagine that's an expensive brand because they do a lot of campaigning. Campaigning is what me and my peoples call advertising. This is Do It Against Sports. This is probably the greenest place of all the places here. Here you can sell your used sports equipment and then they sell it back. But they make probably like 500 to 1,000% profit, so you get barely nothing for what you want. And then over here is self-defense. I think it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Valente Brothers Self-Defense. I'm not 100% sure what kind of art style it is, but I think it might be Jiu-Jitsu. And here is the Char Hut. I knew this lady, very nice lady, from Hollywood, because I used to live in Hollywood. She helped me out because she works here, or used to. She moved now, I believe. And I actually worked there for one summer, but then I was accused of engaging in they said that I wasn't doing my work like I was assigned, which is BS, because I think it was just, I don't think I was ready at the moment to be a team member. I think I was just mostly like, you know, I wanted to be like a boss, but I didn't understand that being a boss means that everybody in the team matters the same. So it's like a pyramid in like what my sister used to do, cheerleading. The bottom matter, the top matter. The 122nd terrace, so it's not an avenue. If I remember correctly, it's avenue, terrace, and then I forgot what the third one is. This is another plaza, the Anchor store, and this one's actually, there's the name right there. That's the name, but Pillbox Plaza. If you don't know what a pillbox is, it's for medicine. So it's a pharmacy, and this pharmacy, when you go inside, it's actually like going into like a little museum. I don't want to go to this plaza. I just went to the last one. Plus, it's kind of far. There's a preschool. Oh, and also behind the Char Hut Plaza that I just passed. Can you see the marquee? Char Hut Plaza. Yeah. There's a building which is about 5-story tall, and that's also all dedicated to. I love these trees. Look at these trees. These trees, I don't know how old they are, but they're beautiful. There's a building over there. Oh, look at the people cycling for health. When there's not light out, you're supposed to have lights. And cars are supposed to give them at least either 3 or 6 feet, but cars sometimes are rude. Yeah, there's the building back there. That's dedicated, that's more office spaces and more providers of medicine. I think my mom goes there, I believe, or for one of her doctors. In this plaza, I'll sum it up quickly. Let me see if I can read it without having to zoom in. But there's a preschool. I know there's an optometrist office in there because one time I checked them out. There's an accountant. There's a church, a chiropractor. Chiropractors, if I'm not mistaken, they don't have to do internships. They're not doctors of medicines at all. They're kind of like an optometrist, you know. Optometrist doesn't have to do. And then there's the pharmacy. If you're ever in Pembroke Pines, that's a landmark, because if you go in there, it's not your typical pharmacy. That's a landmark for Americana. It's they also do mixing, like when you have to have your medication like mixed together. It's called compounding, I believe. They do that as well. So, you know, if you seek any kind of special medicine, or also they have medical supplies too. So if you need like a cane, a walker, or vitamins, or mineral, or you know, vitamins, pills, or, you know, a lot of different stuff. And then they have some novelty stuff like cards and things like that. And then the back of the plaza, there's also more stuff. There's a pediatric heart specialist. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm over by 10 minutes. I think maps.google.com said 28 minutes, but I've stopped. Here's another commercial area. This one, I don't really even know what the Anchor location is on this one, but I know there's a doctor's office at the end. And back there's more commercial, but that's not off of Taft. That's like a little bit north. And behind that, there's a baseball field. The baseball field, I am aware that they have Little League that practice at that baseball field. So that's pretty cool, you know, for kids that are interested in baseball. Me personally, I like soccer. Soccer is out by the beach almost, but not, well, actually, no, we have one that's about it's about, I think, let me see. It's about like 2 kilometers from my house. Yeah, just a little less. No, about approximately 2 kilometers. This is the last plaza that's on Taft Street, Pembroke Lakes Professional Center. We still haven't left the subdivision of Pembroke Lakes, which is, see, there's another provider. That should be an MD or a nurse practitioner practicing under an MD. I don't know what that is. Over there, acupuncture, so that's Eastern medicine. Salt cave. Acupuncture is probably the equivalent of me taking Paxil. It's an antidepressant. It's supposed to, it's a serotonin selective reuptake inhibitor. So the neurons in your brain, particularly the ones that involve serotonin, which I guess are neurons that have to that are associated with your mood. It alters the way your brain chemistry and the way the neurons communicate. And thus I reached my destination. That's where I applied for the job. Let me see if I can get a better... Okay, now here's something important to know. The convenience store is a 7-Eleven franchise, but the gas station is mobile. So not exactly sure how that works. I'm guessing the petrol company that's owned by Mobil, which I believe is Exxon, which I believe is the Bush family. And I'm guessing, you know, Cheney, all of them, and all of his friends from college, they all have stocks in it. But I believe Exxon is mostly owned by the Bush family. They're from Texas. And I think they're, you know, they're wealthy. So I'm gonna tag you, Bush family. Laura's the mom, but the seniors are probably the ones that would have patience to watch a video this long. The youngins, I'm just gonna put a timestamp where I give a shout out to you guys. You guys are wealthy. You could donate. I would appreciate it. Obviously, anonymously, because I know you guys are also people of faith. So here's the marquee. So 7-Eleven, mobile 7-Eleven. And over here, we list our prices for gasoline by gallons, not by liters. And we have also 3 types of refined gasoline. We have regular, we have one in the middle, and then we have a higher one, and then we have diesel. With diesel, it's the least refined, but it's the most expensive because they know that it's used for commercial. Here are the prices. Now remember, this is per gallon. I think there's about 3 3/4 liter in 1 gallon. Oh look, I found a pill on the floor. I'll search that bad boy in a minute. Here are the prices. So regular 1 gallon is and we're just gonna round it up, $3.46 US. Extra, and it's 87 octane. None of these have lead in them. Lead became illegal a while ago when they finally realized how bad it was. The one in the middle, which is 89 octane, is $3.90 after we round. And the Supreme, which is what you use like on a luxury vehicle or a supercar. Supercars might even have to use jet fuel, is $4.26. And then diesel, which is the least refined, so it actually goes to the least amount of work to get here, is not $4.26 or less, but instead it's $4.44. Oh goodness. All right, let me see if Francisco's here, and I'm just gonna be open and be honest. I applied here. My name is so-and-so. Thank you for your consideration. All right, if you watched till now, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Please just like, because I know subscribing and liking is not something people are, unless they have an incentive or a motive to do that, they're not gonna do it. That's why Mr. Beast is so popular. He does giveaways. He lets his subscribers come in and enter contests. That's why he's got like over 100 million subscribers. Subscribe to Mr. Beast. I mean, his videos, they're like junk food. My videos are just video logs, and they're essentially for me, but I would like to see if I could reach the YouTube community, all my creators, my favorite creators, Michael, what's his name? Michael Stevens from Vsauce. He's probably like the top celebrity for me. Jimmy and his whole crew. Chris, who's going through you know, and I'm glad he did it at this part of life, not when he was young, but when he was an adult. He made that decision. That's how I think it should be done. And all the people online that criticize her, the only thing I want her to do now is, are you gonna keep Chris, or do you want to do a name change? But if you're identifying as a she, I'm trying to be respectful. I don't even want to get up on looks. I'm just gonna say this: you are an awesome person. Having you around is almost like the foundation of the survival videos, and those are my favorites. Jimmy, the way he had ambition from when he was young, and he wanted to just do YouTube. You know, you can really see it in it, and his dedication to it. He's like how David Blaine went into the arts. Smosh, you know, when they got bought out, it was sad to see. At its best were its founders, Anthony Padilla and Ian Heacock. He was the more handsome one, there. But he's doing a vlog, so I'm sure he's doing okay. And there's one more that I want to give a shout out to. These are just like the OG creators. Then you have like the big companies like Cheddar, Vox, which Johnny Harris used to work for. But what else? But I like independent stuff. I'll try to make another list of creators that I like. And I see Francisco right now, so thank you for watching. If you made it to now, thank you. Please check the description out for whatever, if you want to be kind and generous. From the bottom of my heart, in order, budget will go healthcare, and then the princess, and then anything after that, you know, family or myself, you know. But if you can, I really appreciate it. If not, at least like, subscribe, or you can consider joining Patreon. I do post there daily, but I want to try to make that better too. And I am trying to get family to be in the videos. Thanks so much. I'm going to talk to Francisco. I don't know if it was a good idea for me filming right out front of his door, but I appreciate your journey, taking the journey with me. I'm probably going to record on the way back too, so bye. Hola, saludos. Ok, acabo de hablar con Don Francisco sobre mi aplicación de trabajo. Ustedes saben que todo el tiempo yo estoy pidiendo por donaciones o que se hagan miembros de la página donde yo pongo videos, pero se tiene que pagar, que yo sé que es caro, es $5 al mes, que para muchos de pronto eso no es mucho, pero yo sé que la realidad es que eso sí es una buena cantidad de billetes. Ay, se me olvidó. Oh, no se me olvidó. Menos mal. Tuviera que tener que pagar por uno nuevo. Esta marca, ellos hacen lápices, manillas para afeitarse, como se llamen, y estos fósforos, como semifósforos, como se diga, me llamen. Pero las plumas que yo uso son diferentes, se llaman Pilot, es como piloto en inglés. Bueno, esta parte la voy a hacer en español porque acabo de hablar con el Don Fran, así lo llamé, le llamé, porque ya yo lo he conocido de hace rato y él me conoce a mí también. Él se recuerda de mí cuando yo ayudé, cuando yo trabajaba haciendo los domicilios a las tiendas de pan tajado. Si tengo audiencia en Sudamérica o en México, es como si... Ay, déjame confirmar que no oprimí nada. Es como si estuviera trabajando por la marca Bimbo, vamos a decir. Bimbo hace sus panes en una panadería, y de esa panadería, como se hace aquí en el sur de la Florida, la panadería está en un distrito que hay como 2 fábricas o 2 lotes grandísimas, o 3. Creo que hay una de Pepsi o de Coca-Cola, hay una de la tienda de supermercado donde sí me gustaría trabajar, Publix, y hay otra que es la panadería. Ahí es donde hacen el pan. La panadería está abierta 24 horas y solo cierran, creo que... no sé si cierran 2 días a la semana. Serían siendo, creo que el martes y el viernes que cierran. Porque yo sé que nosotros no hacíamos domicilios los miércoles y los domingos. El martes y el sábado, perdón, es que están cerrados. Si tú consigues trabajo trabajando directamente en la panadería, ese es un buen oficio. Es durito, pero pagan bien, tienes buenos beneficios y trabajas directamente por la compañía. Cuando yo trabajé haciéndoles las vacaciones a los dueños de los territorios, porque ese es su propio negocio. Los que distribuyen los panes aquí, ellos son los dueños del territorio. Entonces ellos tienen todo el derecho de distribuir la marca de la compañía que ellos compraron. Entonces vamos a decir que tú quieres comprar una ruta Bimbo. Aquí en Florida, Bimbo está en los Estados Unidos. Ellos son dueños de las marcas, obviamente Bimbo. Estoy hablando de pan. Ellos también tienen otras cosas, pero si tú tienes una ruta de pan, tú distribuyes Bimbo, pero eso casi no se encuentra. Sara Lee, que es una marca popular en los Estados Unidos, es como un nombre, Sara y después Lee, L-E-E. El pan en el este se llama Arnold's, pero en el oeste creo que se llama Brown Berry. Y también los panes de desayuno de la marca de Thomas. Thomas con H. Ellos hacen los panes que los judíos les gustan, los bagels, que es como un pan bien, ¿cómo se dice? Dense, no sé cómo es la palabra. Entonces, las rutas de Bimbo son un poquito difíciles porque antes de Bimbo creo que la panadería, la empresa se llamaba George Weston. Esto fue hace años, porque recuerden que yo he estado haciendo esto ya casi 20 años llevo, ya pronto. Lo único que tuve que dejar de hacerlo hace como 3-4 años porque mi mujer ya no puede caminar, porque ella está deshabilitada, está tratando de coger los beneficios del Estado o los beneficios federales, yo no sé cómo funciona. Pero entonces ella no puede caminar y yo no tengo carro, y aunque tuviera carro es mejor caminar a la escuela porque solo se demora como 10 minutos, vamos a decir entre 10 y 15 si cogemos el paso lento, y ese es un buen tiempo para miren toda la belleza de lo que es la naturaleza. Miren los árboles como son tan bonitos, y gracias porque han durado en todo este tiempo, sobre todo los huracanes. Mira todas las hojas. Si tú eres pobre, esto es refugio, porque una sombra, mira, esa es una luz, esa es polución de luz. Esa es una luz de la ciudad. Entonces se ve como el sol. Ok, estas son las plazas de que yo hablaba. Ahí está la farmacia, que es la tienda principal de esta plaza. Y yo acabo de venir de la gasolinera donde yo llené la aplicación. Pero don Francisco me dijo que ahora mismo tiene demasiados empleados. Pero de pronto en diciembre, cuando el volumen se aumenta más de los clientes, porque hay más tráfico, me imagino. Esta es la otra plaza que pasé llegando acá. Esta es la plaza, la tienda principal. Es como comida rápida, pero a la parrilla. Hacen hamburguesas. Mira, y detrás de ahí está el edificio como de 4 o 5 plantas que tienen oficinas. Y mire, y por allá, por esta calle, por allá atrás, es donde se juega el béisbol. el béisbol juvenil. Allá está el parque detrás de eso verde que tú ves, esa pared verde. Esa pared verde es como, en inglés se llaman hedges. Yo no sé cómo se le dice en español, pero son como unas plantas que tú puedes plantear. Y creo que por el código no pueden ser más de 6 pies alto, que es más o menos como 1,80 m, más o menos 1,85 m creo. O de pronto hasta 1,90 m, no sé. Esta calle principal, Taft, es de 4 carriles original, pero cuando tú tienes una línea para cruzar, mira qué tanto espacio coge. Desde allá, donde yo le di para la entrada del parque, y mira, ya he pasado como, vamos a decir, 100 pies, que sigue siendo como 80 metros, vamos a decir, o más. Y mira, tiene que empezar desde por acá, porque la velocidad aquí en esta carretera, recuérdense que es como 55 kilómetros por hora. Y eso es lento. Eso es lento aquí donde yo vivo. 55 kilómetros es lento. Mira, ya hay un carro saliendo del vecindario. Ese es alguien que debe vivir ahí. Va a cruzar a la izquierda. Entonces tienen que mirar ambos lados para confirmar, porque él tiene el pare. Yo les voy a enseñar la parte de atrás del pare. Ahí está. Eso dice pare en inglés, que se pronuncia stop. Y mira, la carretera extra que yo les enseñé, que empezaba hasta allá, todavía está hasta acá. Y aquí es donde empieza, allá es donde empieza, todavía no he llegado. Entonces por toda esta parte se convirtió en una carretera de 5 pasillos. Normalmente son 4, una carretera de 4 líneas. Pero porque aquí se cruza, mira, ese carro va a cruzar. Y de 55 kilómetros por hora se necesita esa distancia. Es casi como 500 metros, me imagino. Mínimo 500 metros. Por aquí es donde empieza, ¿ves? Aquí ponemos líneas. Yo sé que ahora ya hoy en día hay líneas en casi todas, en todos municipales, todas ciudades principales. Lo único es que las calles de nosotros no son hechas de concreto, sino son hechas de un producto que se llama, solamente sé el nombre en inglés, es asphalt. A-S-P-H-A-L-T, si lo letré bien. Se hacen de asphalt, que es más económico, pero no dura tan largo como dura una carretera de concreto. Pero es fácil de instalar. Entonces vamos a decir, cada 10 años, cada 15, depende de qué tanto tráfico ve la calle, se pone de nuevo la carretera, el asphalt. Mira, esta cerca creo que es de aluminio. Sí, esta cerca es de aluminio. Las palmas son bien populares. No, yo me imagino, aquí en los Estados Unidos tenemos los estados del sur, son considerados estados que en inglés le llaman Sun Belt States. Eso se traduce estados debajo la correa del sol, o estados de la correa del sol. Estas casas son lo que se llaman en inglés single family homes, y fácilmente pueden costar $500,000. Por eso es que hoy en día, para ser dueño de un hogar, de una casa, es prácticamente imposible. Especialmente para los jóvenes que están apenas empezando a trabajar y salieron de sus estudios de la universidad. Primero, si cogieron una profesión larga, como abogado o doctor o un doctorado en filosofía, lo que sea. Si tuvieron buen grado durante el bachiller, puede ser que el Estado le cubra el costo de la escuela, pero solo los primeros 4 años, lo que se le llama en inglés el undergrad. Tú coges un grado que es un bachelor's degree, pero después para la próxima escuela, que se llama en inglés graduate school, para eso lo tienes que pagar. Y eso es carísimo. Y otra cosa también, aunque el costo de matricularte lo cubra porque tú cogiste buenos grados en el bachillerato, todavía tienes que pagar por las cosas como los libros. Los libros son súper caros. Y tú sabes, todos sabemos que el conocimiento, estamos viviendo en una época de conocimiento. Lo que nosotros leemos en un día, bueno, si tú lees, es lo que la persona media o la persona normal leía en toda su vida durante el siglo XVIII o XIX, creo. No estoy 100% seguro. Esta calle 119 Terres, creo que es Avenida, Terraza y después no sé si es Corte. Esas son las avenidas, son las que corren de sur a norte. Y aquí las calles corren de este a oeste. Y al oeste del condado tenemos un producto de la naturaleza de la Florida que se llama los Everglades. Es como un swamp. No sé cómo se traduce en español porque nunca aprendí esa palabra, pero un swamp es como tierra, pero inundada.
Fíjense que
Tiene
esta casa
agua,
a la izquierda
plantas,
está sobre una calle principal y no
unas
tiene
plantas
una
que se llaman
cerca.
sawgrass. Tenemos aquí un centro comercial que se llama Sawgrass Mills Mall, que si tú lo caminas todo es más de 1 milla. Entonces casi es 1,5 kilómetros caminar todo ese centro comercial. Aire acondicionado, imagínate. Eso está en la ciudad que se llama Sunrise. Sunrise se traduce más o menos a cuando sale el sol en la mañana. Ahora mismo el sol no se puede ver porque menos mal que en esta área hay buenas cantidades de árboles. Esta es otra cosa que me gustaría estudiar sobre árboles. La gente que vive al lado de la calle principal, la primera casa, yo no les dije, pero yo no creo, había una casa que no tenía reja, pero casi todos tienen su reja. Estaba pensando de coger la avenida 118 para cortar entre las calles, entre las casas, pero yo no quiero enseñar mucho las casas de extranjeros porque hay gente que se molesta muy fácil y yo no quiero que nadie molestar a nadie. Hasta mi propia familia. Yo le dije a mi reina y a la princesa que por favor hagan un video para mí, aunque sea 15 segundos, solamente saludando a esta aplicación, la red de YouTube, para que la gente vea que yo no es solamente yo, que ustedes existen. Yo sé que la princesa ha salido en algunos videos, pero bien cortico, porque más de eso no me da derecho. Ella no quiere que la grabe. Bueno, vamos a seguir Detrás de mí ven los árboles bellos. Mira estos árboles. Mira esta tronca, mira cómo se dividió. Se hizo dos troncas y después allá como se une. Este es interesante porque mira, esa tronca empezó a moverse como hacia donde está el sol y salió para allá. Y después la otra tronca principal. Esto se ve casi como si fueran dos árboles que se pegaron juntos. No, es el mismo árbol, creo. Yo sé que los japoneses saben mucho sobre cómo crecer los árboles en ciertas maneras. Mira eso. Por eso damos gracias. Gracias por todos los sentidos que tenemos. Gracias por la electricidad que carga la batería de esta computadora, que también es un teléfono y también es una cámara. Gracias por este cuerpo que sí vivimos igual como la naturaleza, hay día y noche, porque estamos en el cuerpo. Todos tenemos pensamientos que son de luz y que son oscuros. Pero por las gracias del Espíritu Santo, nosotros podemos vivir una vida de paz y de alegría. Ahora, si lo que están enseñando en la programación terrestrial es verdad, que hay una guerra en Europa, ya yo dije, si me pagan como, ¿cuánto era? 500 millones de dólares, yo voy allá y yo peleo para que el Estado de Ucrania siga siendo independiente. Ellos no quieren ser parte de la Rusia. Y para la Rusia, supuestamente, de acuerdo a lo que nos están diciendo nosotros acá, es que el presidente no quiere tener los poderes de NATO, que es North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Creo que eso es lo que es North Atlantic Treaty Organization, que son prácticamente países que creen en democracia, y el capitalismo, pero no es muy diferente que el comunismo, porque aquí uno siempre está en deuda con alguien. En el comunismo tú estás en deuda al Estado. Aquí son a las empresas. Y entonces el poder es distribuido entre, vamos a decir aquí, 20 personas. Allá es entre una persona. Porque aquí una persona puede ser rico, pero eso no significa que tiene poder. Lo que en inglés se dice wealth. Con el poder, tú puedes abrir una empresa. Tú puedes darle oficio, trabajo a otra gente. Si tú eres rico, lo máximo que puedes hacer es quizás comprarte un apartamento de lujo, unos carros de lujo, hacer vacaciones cada año. Pero si no sigues manteniendo un ingreso entrando, eventualmente te gastas todo el dinero. Cuando tienes poder, es muy difícil de perder todo ese dinero. No es imposible, pero es mucho más difícil. Y cuando tienes poder, tus hijos, si tú no les das valores buenos, y tú solamente le das todo sin que ellos aprendan ser agradecidos y entender que todos seres somos iguales, tus hijos van a crecer para tener características que quizás no sean para promover tu corporación hacia adelante. Porque esencialmente lo único que mantiene el capitalismo en el corazón de la gente es la idea de que la gente que tiene el poder son gente buena, con buenas ideas, o son gente que tienen sus mismos valores, que trabajaron duro, pero ya sabemos que eso no es verdad. Hay mucha gente que tienen poder que ya ni siquiera sabemos sus nombres porque ellos no quieren que la gente sepa quiénes son. Porque cuando tú tienes poder, tienes que contratar guardaespaldas, tienes que tener sistemas de seguridad. Si tienes bienes raíces, cuando tú tienes poder, tienes que mover tu dinero y tienes que hacer lo que crezca. Bienes raíces son muy buenas aquí en este país. Este país es muy bueno para invertir en bienes raíces. Por eso es que cuesta tanto, pero normalmente siempre te da. Lo único que mira, ya está saliendo el sol. Si lo que yo aprendí es verdad, que el Banco Federal no es una entidad federal, así dicho, es como parte del gobierno o parte de la gente, sino realmente es parte de la familia esa que les dijo a los ingleses que los franceses ganaron cuando estaban haciendo la batalla de Waterloo. Y después los ingleses, good morning, empezaron a ponerse en pánico. Hay alguien trotando. Eso es súper bueno para el sistema cardiovascular y para el músculo más importante de todo el cuerpo, el corazón. El corazón, almendras, grasas que no son saturadas, son buenas para el corazón. Nueces, legumes. Acaba de pasar la avenida 114, como yo le dije, es nombrada después de Richard Zimmerman, por lo menos por ese lado. Allá lo ven en la primera parte del video. Mira, el hedge ese está muy alto. Le pueden dar una multa hasta este hogar. Pero me imagino porque está directamente a la calle, de pronto no los molestan. Porque propiedades generalmente que están al final de la calle, depende, pueden costar más. Porque el lote puede ser un poquitico más grande. Mira, esto es algo que casi no se ve. Alguien en un scooter. No una motocicleta, pero un scooter. En casi todos otros países tú ves eso. O bicicletas. Aquí es puro carro. Y eso fue normalizado por mucha propaganda y la prosperidad que este país acumuló después de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Porque la Segunda Guerra Mundial, vamos a decirlo por lo que es, fue una guerra que se peleó en Europa y en Asia o el este, en China. Aquí nunca se peleó en las tierras de las Américas. Y por eso es que México no tiene una parte militaria de aire, porque los Estados Unidos tiene tanta fuerza que si alguien le va a tratar de conquistar a México, los Estados Unidos inmediatamente se va a meterse, porque primero, si la idea es de comunismo o socialismo, inmediatamente los Estados Unidos se meten, inmediatamente. Porque recuérdense que aquí nos dan la ilusión que nosotros podemos elegir a la gente que nos gobiernan, pero eso es todo lo que es. Una ilusión. En la realidad, la gente que nos gobiernan, ellos reciben dinero de corporaciones para que cuando se trate de pasarse una ley, la ley sea de beneficio a la corporación. Entonces, en realidad, los que tienen el poder aquí no es el gobierno, sino son las empresas, las corporaciones. Pero al ciudadano, a los ciudadanos en general, de pronto no la generación nueva, porque yo sé que la generación nueva es educada, es más educada e informal de cualquier tiempo en la historia, porque ahora con las redes de información, una persona, si quiere aprender de lo que sea, lo puede aprender con video, leyendo, o hasta hay clases que uno, si tiene dinero, de pronto hay unas clases que hasta que son gratis. Yo cuando yo estaba en elemental, esta es una escuela elemental. Esta es donde va la princesa, donde yo camino diario. Bueno, de lunes a viernes, menos feriados. Y también menos algunas ocasiones, como ayer, Papá Alex, el rey mío, llevó a la princesa a un show, un talent show, donde las profesoras y la gente que trabaja en la escuela bailaban y cantaban y todo eso. Esta es la escuela donde yo quería ir cuando nos mudamos aquí a Pembroke Pines, pero me tocó otra, me tocó una que se llama Pines Lakes Elementary. Pero yo siempre quería ir a esta porque a mí siempre me gustaba este vecindario, desde que me mudé aquí. Porque me gusta los árboles, me gusta mucho eso. Vamos a ver si lo pueden ver bien el nombre. El árbol, no puedes ver algunas de las letras, pero eso dice Pembroke Lakes Elementary School, escuela elemental de Pembroke Lakes. Pembroke Lakes es el barrio donde yo vivo, dentro de la ciudad de Pembroke Pines, y donde yo siempre he querido un hogar. Si algún día podía comprar una casa, un hogar, es ahí mismo. Ese es el nombre. Se llama The Gardens. Ahí está. Perdón si cuando puse la cámara hacia mí estaban viendo como mi nariz o así, pero yo no sabía que estaba en 3X. Mira, allá está el nombre. Se llama The Gardens at Pembroke Lakes. Los jardines en Pembroke Lakes. Estas son casas, no son single family homes, son casas pegadas. En la primera planta hay una unidad, dos unidades, una allí, ¿verdad? Cada edificio tiene cuatro hogares. Y después, desde el primer piso, tú coges una escalera y en la segunda planta hay otras habitaciones. Entonces, 1, 2, 3, 4, pero hay diferentes, ¿cómo me explico? Hay diferentes planes. De pronto hay algunas que son de una habitación, hay otras que son de dos, y de pronto hasta hay una que las dos plantas es un mismo hogar. Y detrás de la comunidad hay un lago, porque aquí hay muchos lagos artificiales que son conectados a canales. Por si acaso hay una lluvia, no se forma un arroyo. Arroyo sí es una palabra que aprendí cuando fui adulto y visité a Barranquilla, porque en Barranquilla se forman arroyos que da miedo, que matan. Mira, desde aquí de pronto pueden ver el nombre de donde me gustaría trabajar. Ese es mi trabajo de sueño, Publix. Si alguien ve este video de casualidad, hablen con alguien del Publix. El número de la tienda es 1570, la tienda número 1570. 1570. Ese es el nombre de la tienda. Y yo he trabajado ahí desde que tenía 17 años, cuando trabajé en la óptica, pero el dueño de la óptica no le renovaron el arriendo y entonces lo reemplazaron con otros optometristas. Creo que el dueño ni siquiera es optometrista, es un optician. Aquí tenemos, no es como en Sudamérica que tú ves un oftalmólogo y ya, eso es todo. Aquí tenemos oftalmólogos, optometristas y opticians. Cada uno tiene su propio oficio. Es una barbaridad como la economía aquí. Bueno, voy a dejar de grabar porque acabo de recibir un mensaje de uno de mis jefes, uno de que le hago trabajo de pan. Déjame ver para ver qué me dice, si de pronto tengo algunos turnos esta semana, porque sí los necesito, porque este jueves tengo que ir al médico y todavía me faltan como $200. No sé cómo voy a hacer, me va a tocar prestar, pero me da cosa de seguir prestando de mis padres. Por eso es que estoy tratando súper duro buscar trabajo. He estado aplicando que da miedo. Apliqué en lugares que están lejos porque mi mamá originalmente me dijo que no te preocupes de dónde esté el lugar. Mira, alguien manejando un scooter, pero un scooter donde tú te paras. Ese sí lo está manejando por la acera. Eso no se maneja por la calle. Y mira, esta es la Taft St. Estamos en la esquina de la Taft con Hiatus. We are on the corner of Hiatus Road, or North Hiatus Road, I should say, and Taft Street. Ok, mi gente del mundo que habla español, gracias por acompañarme en esta jornada, esta caminata. Favor, mucho favor, suscríbanse porque eso ayuda para que yo salga del hueco de donde yo estoy ahora mismo, que mi canal no tiene casi miembros, gente suscrita. Ya llegué a 70, gracias a todo, pero creo que tengo que llegar a 1000 para hacer lo que se llama un live chat. Esa es una hablada en vivo donde yo pongo la cámara y me graba a mí en el momento, y en ese momento también la gente puede hablar en el chat. Me gustaría hacer eso con una comunidad, o como ustedes quieran. Si recibo más comentarios en español o en inglés, dependiendo del idioma, así es como hago el chat. Aquí puedo coger una buena foto del sol. Ok, chao. Disfruten estas fotos.